Hello, everyone. Today is Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. This is Igor and Elena Yasno reporting from Kiev, Ukraine. Lots of interesting things happened yesterday. We had amazing meetings with very, very interesting people. And we will have to dedicate a special episode to that. Will be episode 9. But for now, everyone's attention is glued to the events of last night. A pretty serious bombardment of the capital, and we would like to talk about that because everybody's asking, everybody's worried about us. We really, really appreciate it. Up until now, we've had a number of air raids, sirens, and alarms and things like that. But frankly, they were not that eventful. We slept through most of them, but yesterday was different.
Yeah. So I guess I will describe slightly of how this whole thing happens. The air raid, I have a lot of different apps and channels that are notifying me. So I'm basically sleeping with my phone next to me, and it notifies if there is activity of some kind of launch, rocket launch, the drone attack, or whatever. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, the notification went out that there is an air raid and there's a problem, that there is an attack on Kiev and other areas. It does let you know about other areas. And usually I wake up, Igor sleeps, I wake up and I start monitoring what's going on, because then you're being notified of where the missiles are flying from and where are they going, and hopefully by a certain time what kind of missile attack it is, or it's drones, how long it will take to get to you, and how dangerous it is. And I waited until probably it was about almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden there was no real indication of what's going on. The rockets are coming for Kiev. Get ready, go into shelter. Nobody goes anywhere. And all of a sudden, at 3 o'clock in the morning, the explosions started. And it was so strong that Igor woke up. I woke him up. I started screaming. And he said, "Why are you screaming?" I said, "Are you kidding me? It's blowing up." Everything sounded like the bombs were coming at our house. Everything was shaking.
I want to say right away that nothing was exploding next to us. There were no hits in our neighborhood or anywhere else. In fact, what we did hear were the anti-aircraft, anti-rocket systems working, and it seemed like they were right around the corner, and they were extremely loud. It did seem like a 4th of July fireworks times 100 or something like that.
1,000.
And the windows were rattling. The mirrors in our apartment were rattling. I mean, it was kind of scary.
And car alarms were going crazy. Everything was going nuts. So up until now, we survived sitting in the hallway when there was an air raid. But this time we got dressed and we were ready. And all of a sudden we get a call from Olena, who is she is the organizer of this incredible fund. We will talk about her later. She called us and she said, "Guys, get out, go into the metro station," because and she was the first one who said that the hypersonic ballistic missiles are being fired at Kiev, and they're flying in, and it takes very short time for them to reach their target. And the only anti-aircraft that can take them down is the Patriot missiles, Patriot defense system.
So we are extremely thankful to the United States people and United States government for finally providing those. I remember that a year ago we were demonstrating in Santa Monica, asking to close the skies. That was the slogan of our demonstration, close the skies for Ukraine. Basically, they did it by providing this very sophisticated and very expensive anti-aircraft and anti-missile system. They were able to ensure that very few of these rockets are reaching their targets. And in fact, now having read the news, and this is not final yet, I mean, the news changes all the time. It seems that there were multiple types of missiles fired at Ukraine, and among them were 6 of these hypersonic Kinzhal or daggers missiles that were fired, and they were all taken down, which was an amazing feat in itself.
Incredible. There were 6 ballistic, the hypersonic ballistic missiles fired, and at Kiev. There were 9 cruise missiles. There were 3 ballistic missiles that were fired from earth to air or earth to earth, the C-300. There were 6 drones, the Shahed type, and 3 other drones, and all of them were taken down. The parts of the debris from the missiles fell on some areas in Kiev and caused a lot of damage, but there are only 3 casualties and people that were wounded and taken to the hospital. But if it weren't for the air defense system, there would be a massacre. It would be a disaster. It would be mass amount of people dead. There's no question about it.
So these are highly explosive things. They're very dangerous. And frankly, we're all scratching our heads trying to figure out what's the point? What's the point of firing these missiles? Some of them cost $1 million to produce at the helpless, well, not so helpless, but sleeping city of 4 million people, where that present no danger to anyone. People are just sleeping in the middle of the night.
People that have to get up in the morning and take their kids to school and to work. When we came down to the metro, it was incredibly calm. Everybody's walking into the metro, and this is the first time I saw people actually walking into the metro station as a bomb shelter. And people were walking in very orderly way. Everybody's walking slowly, carrying their dogs, their cats in their arms. The cats are, and the dogs are scared. The kids are being dragged around. There was a woman with a man holding a little boy, probably the age of my granddaughter. And it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, but at the same time, the resilience of these people, the braveness, people came down. The workers at the metro station were walking around giving out these little stools, foldable stools to everybody that wanted. People were carrying their foldable like yoga mats that they would lay out on the floor and sit there. And these air raids can last up to 3-4 hours. So it's a long time. And this is in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. We were done at 5, so 2 hours. And people were incredible. They were sitting, they were listening. Some dogs were crying. Some children were quiet. They were quiet. And it's heartbreaking to see these people.
On a funny note, we as we exited from our apartment building, there was a couple just standing in the hallway, basically not willing to go to the shelter yet, and not willing to be in the apartment. As we approached the metro station, we saw a bunch of people standing outside. I mean, they were ready to go down, but
Couldn't decide.
preferred to smoke in the fresh air. And didn't go down. And then the metro workers encouraged everyone to go further down the escalators. So some people did go, including us, and others stayed on the first level. not willing to go that far into the metro corridor. We stayed down there for about an hour and a half. Finally, there was basically stand down signal that was sent. We went back up to our apartment, and then
there was another air raid.
There was another air raid. The moment we laid down, there was a second air raid alarm, and this time we did not move.
But it's interesting how, like I said, people were very calm. Everybody's sitting down, looking at their phones, checking the updates of what's going on. And at the time we were sitting, and this metro station is pretty deep. So there are 3 levels of this station. So there's an entrance, then there is one escalator down, and then a second escalator. So we were on the middle level. And they turned the escalator down on. So you get on the escalator to go down, and then when the air raid was over, then they turned the escalator to go up. So we didn't have to walk up and down the stairs.
We did not see that many people, I have to say. There were quite a few, but we live in a very densely populated center of the city, and there are multi-story apartment buildings everywhere. If half of these people went down into the metro, there'd be a very, very crowded situation. It did not happen.
But at the same time, some of these buildings have their own bomb shelters in the building, so who knows what people did.
Right. We would like to take a few minutes and just describe how we see the locals, because that's a very important part. I'm not sure at all what the Russians are trying to accomplish with this, but one thing is for sure: they will not break these people down.
No, and they will not give up at all.
If anything, they're accomplishing is creating more resilience, more hatred toward the Russian invaders, and these people will not stop at anything to get them out of the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've been talking to a lot of people, as I mentioned before. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to tell us their story, and we will have to create more and more of the episodes eventually to describe everything we've been through and everything we felt and heard. But one thing I've noticed is Ukrainians are extremely proud right now. They're so proud of themselves. They're very, very patriotic. Everybody's walking around in some kind of mention of Ukraine. Either it's a little ribbon or a flag, or lots of different T-shirts with all kinds of Ukrainian slogans and patriotic sayings. It's every car is driving around with a Ukrainian symbol of some kind. It's very amazing, and people are very strong.
Before saying goodbye, we want to say Slava Ukraini.
And Slava Героям, Героям, Slava, because they are heroes. They're real, real heroes. All of these people, every one of them.
Thank you for your support, and thanks for checking up on us. We truly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.